Tech support. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Robin Blank, your host for this evening, and this is the Lifewave X39 and introduction. And we have a special doctor this evening joining us. So we will, what we do this evening is share a little bit about the history of the company, the founder, and Barbara, we got a little noise coming in. So there we go. Okay, and then we open things up for you to share your stories. We love hearing stories, and one of my favorite parts about this business is every day I get to hear miracle stories. So I'm going to jump in and get started a little bit about who is Lifewave. And I do want to mention that we are not here to diagnose or prescribe. And when you do share, please only share symptoms, no disease states. And that keeps us very compliant. Appreciate that very, very much. So let's just jump in and talk about the company to start out with. Lifewave will be 16 years old in November, which is very exciting. And what's even more exciting is we are on a trajectory that month over month, we're breaking records. And August was an amazing month for the company. So we're in a very sweet spot. The company started out a long time ago with a technology that our founder, inventor David Schmidt, created for a contract for the Navy SEALs. It was for their survival equipment to help them stay awake in their little mini subs. Sometimes they're in there for days on end, and they wanted something where they use any kind of chemicals or stimulants to keep them awake. And what was born was called the Energy Enhancer Patch using photobiomodulation. Now that's a big word, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. But what that patch did, it's a small patch. It looks like about the size of a quarter. And when put on the body, the infrared heat it activates 500 calories of body fat to keep energy going. Well, that patch got discovered by athletes. In the meantime, between the discovery of that and the athletes and so the government changed their focus from survival equipment to many other different things. And someone actually shared with David the best way to get things to market with this kind of breakthrough science is through the distribution of network marketing. And we are thrilled that he did that. So what happened was one day, David Schmidt, our founder, got a call from Richard Quick, who was the women's Olympic swim coach. And he said, 6 of my 8 swimmers did their personal best. And if you understand anything about sport and sport performance, that's huge. That's really huge. Well, the word got out and the patches started being used all over the world by athletes. And if you go to lifewave.com in the bottom, you'll see a news release section, and in there you can look up the athletics and see that there are athletes from the NFL, the NBA, Olympians, just about every kind of sport you can think of are using our products. And the company's been very generous to contribute patches to Olympians before they're qualifying in competition. And so there's an even playing field. But then what happened was David, there's like basically 3 phases of introduction. He's an inventor, he's a scientist. Everything is backed by clinical studies. The company invests millions and millions of dollars in clinicals to validate the efficacy of the patches and the things they do. And we keep hearing more and more exciting things. So phase 1 was more of the symptom phase where, the energy patch, there came out a pain patch called Icewave. And in over 90% of people, they get instant or rapid pain relief with nothing going into the body, totally safe and natural, non-transdermal, and a sleep patch that's actually used in hospitals in Europe instead of using sleeping pills. So that's exciting. Then the next phase became the anti-aging phase, and the YH patches came out, Eon, carnosine, and glutathione, which do amazing things. We're not here tonight to talk about the details of the other patches. They're all amazing. We're here to talk about the star of the show, which is the third phase, which is regeneration. David is fascinated with regenerative science, and that is the future of where we're going. So that patch is what we're going to talk about tonight. And what it does is it activates a copper peptide. And I invite everyone to write down, if you're new to Lifewave and you're just checking us out for the first time, and even if you aren't brand new, but do this research, write down GHK-CU and do your own research, because that patch, the newest to the collection, X39, activates the copper peptide GHK-CU, and it does a lot of things, and we're going to talk about some of them tonight. So let's move into talking a little bit about our founder. His name is David Schmidt. He is our founder. He is a scientist. He is our CEO. And rarely do you come across someone that can actually be a scientist and a CEO. It's a very unusual combination. He's a man with heart. He's got a passion to make a difference on this planet with the quality of people's lives. And he's just continues to do the research. Personally, he has over 100 patents and patent pendings. And like I mentioned earlier, he invests millions and millions of dollars into clinical studies. Currently, we have over 80 clinical studies on the efficacy of these patches. So you can find those if you go to lifewave.com and scroll down a little bit over to the right side, you'll see the clinical studies. And for those of you that love to be students, there's the story of X39 there that's 55 pages long. That's wonderful if you like to learn a lot. So we invite you to do that. And David Schmidt is, he's an extraordinary being. When I met him first, he was like, this posture was, he just embodies vitality. He's 56 years old now, and actually is biologically, I believe he said 32. So he's someone I learn from every day. We've got lots of wonderful ways to learn from him. And so now what I want to do is talk a little bit about the technology and the star of the show, X39. And to do that, I want to bring on our special guest this evening that I got to meet a year ago when she was brand new with the company, and thrilled to meet her. She is a chiropractor out of Fort Collins, Colorado. She has a background, I love this, as a classical pianist. And she's also been teaching the NIA technique since 2001. She's got many, many gifts and talents. And from some of her own struggles, she became an expert in really supporting people with thyroid and autoimmune conditions. So currently she is a chiropractor in Fort Collins, and she calls it a functional medicine focused chiropractic practice, and is a passionate supporter of Lifewave. And I want to bring on Barbara Jennings. Dr. Barbara Jennings, thank you very much.
Hello.
There you are. Oh my gosh.
Here I am.
Look at your picture. My goodness, this woman is gorgeous. And
thank you.
Wise and gifted and passionate about making a difference in people's lives. So thrilled to have you with us this evening, Dr. Barbara. So I'd love you to share a little bit about the technology. I kind of snuck in a little bit about it. So would you please share, before we get into X39, about this technology called photobiomodulation? What is it?
Yes. Photobiomodulation, it's a big word, but it's easy to break down. Photo being light, bio being biology or your body, modulation being change. So it's the method by which sunlight or light can cause a biochemical change in your body. So really it's the same method by which sunlight shining on your skin can cause a biochemical reaction to make melanin, which gives you a suntan. Or sunlight can shine on your skin and create vitamin D, which is a hormone. So it's really fascinating that light can cause the production of hormones. And actually, the genius of David Schmidt is that he had this inspiration and idea that maybe light can cause more than just those. And he found additional light frequencies that can cause additional biochemical changes in our body.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love the way you broke it down. No one's ever done that before. That helps when you have those big words. They actually do make sense. So this is
Yep.
the technology that all the patches use. But tonight we're going to talk about the star of the show. So I'd love you to talk about X39 and why is it so special? Why did it make the company triple in size from 2018 to 2019?
Yes. Well, it's so special because it can do something that nothing else can do. He found a light frequency that, when shined on our skin, can create, help our bodies create more of this copper peptide that you mentioned. And that copper peptide has so many benefits. I mean, really, people should Google that, should get the book by Lauren Picard. You know, there's so many benefits just from that. But when you pair it with what happens in your body naturally when you increase that copper peptide is that it stimulates your body to make more of its own stem cells. And this is unique because it stimulates your body to make these things in its own most normal, natural pathway, right? It's helping your body make more stem cells for itself, not getting them through an injection, right? Which is not a normal natural pathway for us to get these cells. So it took me all of 2 weeks to be thoroughly impressed and convinced that I needed to incorporate this in my practice. And that was last September when Michelle shared it with me. So, you know, the stem cells then, they're drawn to areas of inflammation, they're drawn to places of damage. The wisdom of your body decides where they're needed most and in what order. Where is it going to go first, second, third? And I love that. So instead of injecting something into my knee, maybe my body has a bigger need, something that's a lot more important, maybe in my heart or my brain, or I don't know. But I, in my practice, have come to have a profound respect for the wisdom of the body and understand that it has priorities and it has a sequence of events that it wants to follow. And I think that the technology of these patches, in just helping our body make more good stuff, really allows our bodies to do that.
I love the way you said that, because a lot of people don't realize, you know, what got me involved is I was actually researching stem cell injections, and a lot of stem cells go in one place. And that's not a natural function for the body. The body only does things that support homeostasis. So this, like what you were saying, is it helps, you know, the stem cells get activated and new ones created from the skin. They go in the size and speed and amount that's natural for our bodies. And then, as you said so beautifully, it goes in order of priority. Stem cells have this innate wisdom to go to where it's most needed. I mean, I was going to get an injection, and then a friend called me because I was bone on bone. I was in severe pain. I did not want to have a knee replacement. Turned out I needed to have one because of the deformity, but the recovery, oh my gosh, I'm 3 months post-op tomorrow, and my recovery was amazing. Last time it took me, I just graduated from physical therapy today, so I'm very excited. And it took me a year last time to graduate. So it's just amazing. I know. And
that's huge.
It's, you know, you said it took you 2 weeks. It took me 1 week because I put the patch on the back of my spine, and then a week later the pain was gone. So what are you noticing in your practice as people are using these patches? And notice we say using, not taking, because nothing's going into the body. So what kind of exciting things are you noticing in your practice, Dr. Barbara?
Well, I'm really excited about these because, and I'll give you some examples of results that I'm seeing, but these patches can do things for people that I can't do with adjustments, and I can't do with nutrition supplements, and I can't do with herbs. I can support, the body's healing processes. I can support with anti-inflammatories. I can, remove stressors from the body. I can detox from the body. But to upgrade and empower the body's own healing responses, like these do, is something that really no doctor can do that for you. And so it gives me such a great foundation and a whole new level to help people with.
Oh, I love hearing that. And every single day I'm talking to practitioners. I've never been in a business with so many healthcare practitioners. And as Dr. Nicholas says, it enhances the clinical outcome of what you can do. And,
Yes.
you do only so much, and it takes it a whole, I mean, my little finger that was stuck here can do that. How can you? I didn't think that would ever happen, So
Right.
it's really fun that the longer you use it, the better it gets.
Yes.
Which is
yes, absolutely.
Really,
It builds on itself. It's cumulative. So keep using it, get more benefit. Myself, when I first started using it, I'm pretty healthy. I'm a doctor. I practice what I preach. I walk the talk, and I didn't have any pain. I didn't have any big problems, but there's stressors in life, big things. And after just 5 days of using the patches myself, I noticed more energy and a very natural form of energy, right? Not like caffeine, because I don't use caffeine. I don't like the way I feel with it. I was sleeping better, and I just had the thing you can't put your thumb on. It's just this greater sense of well-being. I just felt like, oh, I can handle my life better.
wow.
Things are going to be okay.
And I do want to mention, Dr. Barber has 7 children. So not only a busy practice and living and practicing what she preaches, 7 children, that adds a few stressors, right?
A few, yeah. Some kids more than others. Yeah.
The way it works, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. So those are the results I found, as an already pretty healthy person. And so I liked what I felt, and I thought, just started thinking of this patient needs to try it and that patient needs to try it. And so I've had some patients with chronic back pain. I put an Lifewave on him and an X39 on him. And within minutes, literally within a 20-minute appointment, he was blown away. He could lean over and tie his shoes. He could lean over without pain. And, just as happy as can be, still using those. I've had, patients with chronic shoulder pain and chronic knee pain really see a great reduction in their pain and inflammation, greater range of motion, more able to walk and hike in our mountains here. I've had one patient who had nerve damage to the bottom of her feet after a surgery, and I didn't even know this. She never even told me until the feeling came back. But for about 12 years, she'd had numb soles of her feet. And after 1 month, she started having sensation return to her feet. And that really got my attention.
So as a practitioner, you're blessed with getting to see lots of things quickly. And those of us out in the field, we just get to hear the stories. So now we'd love to open things up to our participants, and want to thank all of you for being with us this evening. We've got a wonderful group, and we are on Facebook Live. So hello to everyone on Facebook Live. Glad to have you. And we do have, I think, Lorraine from Alberta has a testimony, and let's see if we can unmute your line so you can share it, Lorraine, if that's possible. And are you Grandma Lulu, I think, right? Yes. So let me find you, and I'll unmute you so you can share your story. And remember, everyone, when you're sharing, that you are actually not mentioning any disease state. You're just only talking symptoms, ideally what it was like before. how long you used X39 or whatever other patch, and now what you can do. Make it real simple for us and brief. And Lorraine, I think you should be able to talk right now. Are you there? Let's see. Is that you, Lorraine, that I'm hearing? Okay, 1 second. We got so many people on here. So we have 2 Lorraines. So I think, and I might have to read it so we don't waste any more time here. So I'll read Lorraine's post because she did post it, and everyone can see it. She said this morning, she was reading her iPad in bed and couldn't sleep and looked under her arms, which she hated to see in the outer light. Let's see here, what's going on. I'm 68, and in the to see in the outer light and saw this creepy skin on her upper arms. Oh my gosh, no one at 68 has that. So it was horrifying. And it was 6 in the morning. She took her arm, and as she looked at her alarm, and there was no more creepy skin. Amazing. And also looked at the deep lines on her face beside my nose and cheeks. And slowly there's been less and less deep lines. Amazing again. I'm starting my 3rd month on X39 as well as Alavita. Still haven't found the answer for the hot flashes. Oh, well, I'll tell you about that. But I'm still moving a few places all around. The sleep patch helps. And let's see, and one of my distributors has had miracle results for pain by just being on X39. And just so you know, X39 was not designed as a pain patch, but it does have anti-inflammatory benefits. So a lot of people get pain relief. So Dr. Barbara, would you like to talk about what to do for hot flashes?
Oh yeah, I've had great results with hot flashes. Another patch, the SP6 patch, which is named after spleen 6, the acupuncture point that you place it on. So David Schmidt developed it for cravings, but your body's cravings are really run by hormones. Your metabolism is a complex network of hormones. And so by addressing cravings, you have to balance those hormones. And a sort of serendipitous effect was that some women reported hot flashes subsiding with the use of that SP6. And I have found that it works really fast sometimes. I mean, within hours.
I've had people instant actually results from SP6. And the way to find SP6 is if you go on the left leg and you run your finger from the inside of your the ankle bone and run it up the inside of your leg, you'll find a really tender spot if you're one of those women.
It's about 3 fingers. If you put the bottom finger on your ankle bone and then poke around at the top of the 3rd finger for that tender spot.
Great. It's incredible. And the SP6 also does, handle some cravings too. So there's many benefits of that one. So someone, Leah is asking a question. She says, is there a contraindication in using the X39 patch in any of Dr. Picard's copper peptide creams?
So the primary, or really only 2 contraindications I'm aware of are, one is someone who's had an organ transplant. And that's because the X39 will, it improves the function of so many things, including your immune system. And so many organ recipients are on immunosuppressive drugs. So that's the reason for that. And then in pregnancy, and that's because nobody tests anything in pregnancy in the United States. So I don't have experience with Dr. Picard's copper peptide creams used topically, so I can't speak to that one.
Okay, well, that's an honest answer. When I spoke to David Schmidt a while ago, someone had a concern that they felt that there was something that got damaged from the patches. And he assured me that in the 15 and a half or almost 16 years and millions of patches all over the world, no one's ever been hurt. And so to know something that's so safe is just a really wonderful thing. And I think we have a testimonial from Peter Wolf. I think you're unmuted, Peter. You want to speak to us and share? Because you have a new one, which is pretty fun. And I think a lot of women are going to love this one.
All right. Well, real quickly, my first concern and hope was the X39 would help me with chronic knee pain and lower back pain. And that's exactly what I experienced in a very short period of time, within a couple of weeks. But then last weekend we went hiking, and apparently I brushed my leg up against some sort of vegetation that my skin did not really agree with.
Oh my.
And so I got home and I stuck an X39 patch on the back of my right calf, which had a rash and some hives on it. And in a very short period of time, that went away. The itching disappeared. And then the next morning, I was talking on the phone with someone, and I had a pair of shorts on. My legs were crossed. And I noticed as I was looking at my right calf that the varicose veins that I'd had for many years were suddenly gone.
Oh my.
Yeah, so that was pretty exciting.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Peter. Okay, Mary Jo is saying the longer I wear them, the better and better I am feeling. Also, so grateful
I'm not.
for both simple patches. Yes.
I think you're not getting as tired as you used to either.
See. We've got someone talking here, and let's see what else we have in our chat section. Let's see. Peter Wolf just spoke, and Grandma Lulu. Let's see if I can find you easily. She says, I tried that for 2 months and it hasn't worked as well as carnosine and the glutathione in alternate, and helps me one night and not the next. I'm not having a hot flash now, although using Eon, and it does not consistently help. 15 years now, Icewave has not helped with a certain kind of condition, but does work good for the back pain. So if someone is not getting the results right away, or let's say they're feeling even more discomfort or pain, how do you address that, Dr. Barbara?
Well, I would look at the big picture and see if other things in their life and their diet and environment are supporting what the patches can do for you. So something that definitely will get in the way of patches, maybe the SP6. So eating sugar actually really helps hot flashes happen.
Aha.
So
That's a tip, everybody.
Yeah. So there are definitely nutritional things that I would look at. There are also herbs that can really help with hot flashes, and I think combining them would probably be the next thing I would try.
Great. Thank you for that. Nutrition and lifestyle is really important. And when you hear from David Schmidt, he always talks about the absolute importance of hydration. And that's Dr. Shana calls it putting a drip system on, not gulping, but putting a drip system of water all day, because our body's electrical system needs to be hydrated for the patches to be effective. And so many people are dehydrated, aren't they?
They do, yes, and mineral deficient. So trace minerals on a regular basis, the right amount of water makes a big difference.
And less sugar. I hope everyone's listening to that. You'll have many other benefits with less sugar. So Dr.
Yes.
Helena has got her hand raised. Would you like to share with us, Dr. Helena? Okay, I unmuted you. Let's see, let's try Mark and Nadika and see if they, because your hand is also raised. Allow to talk is not available because Nadia and Mark have an older version of Zoom. I'm sorry about that. Well, you might want to update your Zoom, you guys. And Zoom is an amazing vehicle. Let's see if there's anyone else we want to cover, because we are at the bottom of the hour, and we thank you for being with us.
There's a question from Mark and something
Yeah.
that starts with an A, which is a good question to answer.
Great, go for it.
They're asking how to find C7 on your spine. So the proper placement of X39, really easy way. Unless you've had a cervical neck fusion that might change the curve of your spine, the best way is just to look down. Look down at your shoes, and whichever bone pokes out the most, that's probably C7, and put it there.
That is a hot tip. You don't need to learn too much, and the beauty of X39 is you can put it anywhere and it's going to work. But
Right.
if you put it at one of those centralized spots, it'll get there quicker. I say it cuts down on the commute time.
Let me also just say,
Yes.
I do use these patches with patients that have autoimmune conditions. I myself have a history of an autoimmune condition. It works by reducing inflammation, and it doesn't make your immune system misfire.
Beautiful. Let's handle one more from Wendy. What do you recommend for lung conditions? And thank you so much for not mentioning disease states, everybody.
Are you asking me or you?
You, lung conditions, what do you recommend?
Lung. For lung conditions, you want to use the lung points, which are the same points where you place the energy enhancer patches. And you can use glutathione. It would probably depend what type, right? What's involved in different types of conditions, but I would use those points with glutathione, X39, Eon, primarily those three.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, thank you, everybody. Let's see, we've got a little noise coming in here, but let's see here. So I want to thank you, Dr. Barbara. It's fabulous being with you. I'm excited to share you more with everyone. You've got such great wisdom to share, and I love learning, and I get to learn from you, and I love how you broke down photobiomodulation. I think that was really helpful for a lot of people. And if you're a guest this evening, please get back to the person who invited you. This call is designed as an introduction. So if you're brand new, reach out to the person who invited you. The products do come with a guarantee. As a customer, there's a 90-day risk-free guarantee. We recommend everyone try X39 for 60 to 90 days before trying any other patches, but for 90 days before you make a decision, because sometimes people have an instant experience, right, Barbara, Dr. Barbara?
Right.
And sometimes it's more subtle and it takes time, right?
Right. Sometimes it's a few months.
It is a few months. So know that they come with a guarantee, and we are very, very blessed that we have this technology to share that no one else in the world has. And so safely and affordably and effectively, we get to help enhance the quality of people's lives. So I want to thank you all for joining us on our introductory call this evening. And thank you all for listening on Facebook Live or listening to the recording. So at this time, this will complete our Zoom. Thanks, Dr. Barbara. Great.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Happy to be here. Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.